One of the best parts about Dollar Tree is that you can find really good items to craft with, and these yarn were brought pretty recently to my Dollar Tree, and I'm so excited. They have beautiful colors and textures, and we're going to start with one of these little mini terracotta pots. I got these at a set of 2 at Dollar Tree during the summer, and I had this one left over, so we're going to pair it with this beautiful Dollar Tree, kind of like baby blue yarn. Now, I know this doesn't seem very Christmassy, but let me tell you, we're going to create something really fun. Now, you can use any color you want, of course. I'm going to start covering the entire thing with it with hot glue. At the top, we're just going to start rolling it kind of like around, swirling it, hot gluing as needed. Once I get to the body, I'm just going to roll it. No hot glue is needed. Just make sure it's nice and tight. Once I reach kind of like the bottom rim, I'm going to start kind of adding here and there, zigzagging it just to add a little bit more texture, and then hot gluing the last little piece and cutting off the excess. For the bottom rim, we're going to do white. Now, Dollar Tree carries white yarn. I had this one already on hand for years, just leftover. So I'm going to use this one, but go ahead and use Dollar Tree's if you want. And I'm just going to hot glue again as needed, cutting off the excess at the end. And we're creating a little gnome. Wait until you see him. Oh my gosh. All right, so now that it's nicely covered, we're going to take another piece of the white yarn. We're going to loop it and knot it. And we're going to insert it through the little hole that was at the bottom of the terracotta, and then we're just going to push it right through, and then inside we're just going to pull it a little bit, add a little hot glue, and then pull it, and then this is just going to hold it nice and snug and not going to go anywhere, and is how we're going to hang it. All right, so we're going to take just a bag. You can also use paper if you want. We're going to stuff the inside, and then we're going to take more white yarn. We're just going to roll it around this piece of cardboard. It's maybe about 5 to 6 inches wide, give or take. I'm going to remove it after I rolled it around many times. I'm going to thread a piece of yarn through the loops, tighten it in a nice tight knot, and then we are going to open up the loops. You see that? So we're just going to take the scissors and open them up. Then we're going to add glue around the rim and on the inside, and we're just going to squish them in, making sure that I'm squishing so it attaches around the rim. That's very important. Once it's hardened, we're going to kind of comb the beard, and we're going to angle cut it on the sides, and then we're going to start adding a nose. Now, I thought this one would be good at first, and I said, yeah, I like it, it looks cute, but no, I quickly removed it because I want to add something bigger. So we're going to add one of these smaller bulbs from Dollar Tree, and this one is perfect for the size. The other one would have worked, but I think this one's even better. We're going to add a couple little embellishments. So we're just going to add some greenery here, little snowballs, and then a pine cone. Now, this might be a little bigger, but I just wanted to go bigger with it. And then we're going to add some little frosted pigs here and there. We're going to keep it quite wintry, non-traditional, Christmassy. But you know what? Many people like blue for Christmas. Let me know in the comments if this is your color. If not, remember, you can use any color you want. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, we're going to take one of these Dollar Tree's rings, and we're going to pair it with pink yarn. Yes, another non-traditional color, and it's okay. I have seen so many pink Christmas decor. I just had to try it. But remember, you can use any color you want, okay? All right, so I tied it in a little knot and rolled it around the entire wreath, and then I'm just going to tie it in a knot. That's it. So easy. And remember, use Dollar Tree yarn. Now, this is not a Dollar Tree yarn, okay? It's because it's what I had on hand, but they have many beautiful pink colors you can choose from. All right, this ribbon I'm going to fold in half, okay? And then I'm going to thread through some of the yarn on the wreath. I'm going to do it using my fingers as a guide. So I'm going to do my fingers, then insert it in between 2 of the yarn, and then measure with my fingers again and insert it and go all the way around. This is going to give it that stitched look. I love that look, and it has such a good tone with the pink because the red and the white in it kind of has a pinkish tone. I don't know if you can appreciate it with the camera, but it looks really good. All right, at the end, I'm just going to tie it in the knot, cut off the excess, and kind of just hide it inside, just nugget it in there. We're going to create a bow, so I'm going to take more of the same ribbon, and I am going to loop it like an awareness ribbon. Then I'm going to scrunch it in the middle, and I'm going to do the same thing with the smaller piece, loop it like an awareness ribbon, scrunch it in the middle, and then we're going to place it on top of it, and this is going to give us a double loop bow. All right, so we're going to tie it in the center with some string, and then we're going to tie it with the same string around the bottom of the wreath form. nice tight knot. I add a little bit of glue to harden that knot and then cut off the excess. All right, we're going to keep it quite simple, but I do want to add some embellishments. I am going to dovetail cut all of the ends of the ribbon to make it look nice and finished. And then we're going to start adding greenery. These are all from Dollar Tree. I'm going to start adding whatever I add on one side, I'm going to add on the other side. This is just going to make everything nice and even. And then we're just going to add green. This red one is kind of has like a little pinkish undertone, which I thought was perfect. And then some golden ones, which I think just added such a little glam look. Love the way this turned out. Now, I don't decorate for Christmas in pink, but I think this is gorgeous. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, we are going to take some of this poster board that I had left over, and we're going to create 3 cones. You just want to roll it around, tape it to itself, and then cut off the excess at the bottom to have a nice flat side so they kind of stand flat. I'm going to do this 3 times because I want to have a set of 3, but I want them all to have different heights, different sizes. All right, so once I had all of them nice and cut where I wanted them, I am going to wrap them up with some white yarn. Again, you can choose any color you want. I want these to be white because then we're going to use other colors to wrap around. So we're going to hot glue at the top and then carefully just keep rolling it around until the entire thing is covered. You don't have to glue in every line. Just roll it around after the first hot glue at the top and then hot glue the bottom rim as you finish it off. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other 2. All right, now that everything is nice and wrapped in white, so cute, you can leave them like this. I am going to wrap them with red and green yarn. Now, I don't know if you can see that this is green. It is green. In my, through the camera, it looks like dark gray or bluish. I promise you it is green. I don't know what is happening. All right, moving on. We're going to wrap one of them with it and the other one or the other 2 with the red. We're just leaving about ½ an inch in between and we're just spiraling it. That's it. Going all the way down. So hot glue at the top and then again hot glue at the bottom, and you can leave them as wide as you want. It doesn't matter. All right, we're going to add some of these vase fillers. I'm going to take the larger vase filler, hot glue it to the larger one, the medium to the medium, and the tiny one to the tiny one. And that's it, because we are going to pair them with these little bottle brush treats from Dollar Tree. I think they create a cute little vignette that you can use on your countertops, fireplace, wherever you want. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments. For this next Dollar Tree DIY craft, we are going to take cutting mats. You know I love crafting with these. They come 2 in a pack, but I had this one left over, so I'm going to cut a 5-inch piece, and I'm going to use my Cricut, but you do not have to use your Cricut if you don't have one. You can always just freehand this by hand. I'm going to place it and set it on my Cricut Joy, and I'm going to cut a piece that has this shape. Now, I'm going to use the heavy cardstock setting. Just wanted to let you know in case you do have a Cricut. Now that it's cut, I am going to take this paint stick and we're going to cut a piece that's going to fit at the bottom and hot glue it to itself right there. Then we are going to move on to some yarn. We're going to use that same white yarn we used earlier. This time we're just going to wrap it around my fingers, and this time we're going to wrap it or tie it around it, not through the loops, but around it because we want to create a pom-pom. Once it's tightened, we're going to open up those loops once again like we did earlier. And then we're going to kind of shape it as a nice, kind of like ball, I guess. But I like mine to be a little messy, so I don't want it to be a nice shaped ball, just as much as I want. Then we're going to hot glue it to the top. Then we're going to take my name. I use the Cricut again, but if you don't have it, again, just use letter stickers or just freehand them if you'd like. We're going to apply it onto some transfer tape, and then we're just going to put it on the wooden stick. I do want to add a hanging piece and some little embellishments. So I'm just going to add this little greenery pick with a red berry. I think it kind of just adds a pop of color to it. And I think it looks really cute. But we're going to keep it pretty simple. I'm going to add some of this red yarn. We're going to loop it like we did earlier. Cut it off and knot it. and we're going to hot glue it to the back, and this is how we can hang it. And that's it, my friends. Oh my gosh. What an adorable craft you can make this Christmas season. And again, don't worry if you don't have a Cricut machine. You can do this by hand. But what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. I have another video here for you with tons more of Dollar Tree DIY crafts inspiration. Check it out. I'll see you later and have a blessed day. Bye.